Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to Front Row Chaos. I'm your host, Travis, and I got my oldest son with me today, Brendan.
Yep.
I'm glad
nice
you're
to
here.
see ya.
So I know we might be a little bit late to the party on this one, but I got a lot of requests to do this song by Jason Aldean. And it is the Try That in a Small Town. And we're going to kind of dive into this and see if it is racist or not, because that's what you keep hearing on the radio and on the news and things like that. So we're going to check it out and see, is it really that? I have never seen it. I actually have never heard the song yet. So this is going to be a first for both.
Yeah, I have never heard it either.
So. Yeah, so we don't even know. I just know that it's a controversial song, but I have not heard or seen it yet. And so we're going to do that right here on Front Row Chaos. Please hit that like and subscribe button. We cannot thank you enough for supporting this show. We just love it. We do have a link in the description. We'll have the original video in there. Plus, we're going to have, I'll always have my link to my PayPal if you'd like to donate. And also, you can go to www.frontrowchaos.com and you can see different things there, merchandise and that kind of stuff. So we're going to get right into this one. Try That in a Small Town by Jason Aldean. So here we go right now.
Sucker punch somebody on a sidewalk, carjacking old lady at a red light, pull a gun on the owner of a liquor store. You think it's cool, act a fool if you like, cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp on the flag and light it up. Yeah, you think you're tough? Well, try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road.
All right, I'm going to stop it right there. I apologize if those of you out there don't agree with me or us on that, but there isn't one thing in that first section that I saw that I disagree with.
No, yeah, I think that it's talking a lot about, just kind of stuff that you see a lot happen these days. And I mean, it's really just kind of, there's a lot of sad stuff that's going on in the world. And I think that's kind of what he's explaining there. From what I can see in that first section. And it's kind of cool in the music video that he adds a lot of real life videos from what's going on.
And I understand there is a lot of bad things that go on, but a lot of times we seem like we want to shoot the messenger instead of the real message, meaning that you want to get in the cop's face, you want to burn the flag, and that has nothing to do with what is actually going on. So
yeah.
And I'm going to rewind it a few bars here because I want to see some of those lines again. So here we go.
If you like, cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp on the flag and light it up. Yeah, you think you're tough? Well, try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town.
And on that small town thing, you always saw this kind of stuff happen in the big towns.
Yeah, that's true.
There might have been a little bit of protest here and there in small towns, but most of the stuff was happening in the big towns. And so this was not a common theme in the small town.
Yeah.
And I think that's where Jason's coming from on this is, to be honest, we don't even know how it would go down in a small town. He's predicting that that's what would happen, but this is an interesting take on, when you get smaller population, it's a little easier to control the masses.
Mm-hmm. And it's probably just from his experience. I don't know his backstory or anything, but I know I've come from small towns, so I can kind of understand where he's coming from there because it's understandable what he's talking about, what he's singing about, because I've kind of seen the same thing of how, there's different values in a small town.
Yeah,
than in a
absolutely.
bigger town, so.
Absolutely. All right, here we go.
my granddad gave me. They say one day they're gonna round up. Well, that shit might fly in the city. Good luck, try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town full of good old boys, raised up right. If you're looking for a fight, try that in a small town.
All right, I just got to say, a lot of this stuff, if this is racist, this is real life. All this footage, this is not actors.
Yeah.
This is stuff that has went on in the world and in our country mostly, obviously. And if you don't like that, then let's stop that from happening.
Yeah. And I don't, as far as like racism goes, I don't think there's anything about it racist, because that's not, I haven't heard anything that's racist about it. The biggest thing that I'm just kind of seeing is just like the respect. And one of those parts that it says in there, it's like they take care of your own in a small town. And then I think that's kind of a message that he's trying to show is like, I think as America, one of the things that I'm kind of seeing is like we don't really take care of each other. We're
No.
kind of all at fighting with each other. And I think that's kind of honestly like one of the biggest messages I think he's trying to show with this song is that it's not that, one side's right or one side's wrong. Like we don't really take care of each other anymore. But in a small town, you still kind of see that. Because I mean, I still live in a small town and I see that, people kind of take care of one another because it's more intimate, it's more special. But a lot of places in the world right now, especially in the United States, like that's not really happening.
Well, also, too, we come from a time, or not a time, I guess we come from a standpoint of no matter if you're black, white, Hispanic, Asian, you do something wrong, you get in trouble for it.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is.
Yeah.
And that's the point, I feel, of the song is he's saying, hey, try that stuff or that crap, I want to say, in a small town and see what happens, because we're not going to let that happen, is
Yeah.
what Jason's saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, it doesn't matter what skin color you are or what race you are. It's like, let's not do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's just accountability. And that's kind of something that should be everywhere.
Should be everywhere.
Accountability is something that, every town relies on, but especially in a small town, it almost takes care of itself, is kind of what he's saying, which I can understand that because you're kind of under a microscope better there, whereas bigger places, you're not so much.
No, you can get lost in the crowd.
Yeah.
In bigger places. So let's see what else Jason's got here for us.
Try that in a small town. Around here we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town.
These farmers are dropping their own crops for the day. A friend is in need, and they've come to help.
It's what this community and a lot of our communities stand for. Somebody needs some help, you'll get it.
Try that in a small town.
The only thing that I had heard online was about this shot, I guess, with the courthouse, and I'm not sure if it's in what state it's in, but I believe it's in Missouri.
Oh, really?
I don't know for certain. That's not guaranteed, and I don't know if they did lynchings there or things like that back in the day that we'd like to forget. But I think that's one of the things that they talked about from what I heard. But I just don't see that as anything racist. I'm trying to come at it from a perspective. Yes, a lot of those riots happened for racial things.
Yeah, that's true.
And we know that. And I know that civil disobedience sometimes happens on things like that, but that doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah, no, it's not, and it's the same thing with accountability. Whatever group was doing it, it's the accountability of saying that it's not right. But in the song, didn't hear anything that was racist of any
Well,
kind that I heard.
and I'd love to, anytime something gets banned, like if they could ban Front Row Chaos, it would go through the roof.
Yeah.
Then it never works to ban something like that because
Well,
it seems like it just makes it more popular.
Well, it brings a lot of attention to something.
Yeah, it
It's
does.
on the internet, a lot of things go by. So if something gets banned, it's like, oh, well, what happened in that where it was able to get banned?
Yeah,
And people are automatically going to look
Yeah.
at it. So it kind of has a different effect than
yeah.
what people are wanting.
And I will say one thing: when he talked about, there was a line in there about wanting to take our guns,
Mm.
and I believe, and maybe I'm dead wrong, but I don't think so. But I think a lot of the countries that would like to take over the United States have a second thought about it because of so many of us that have guns in small towns that it would be such a nightmare to try and tackle this country
Yeah, no,
with all of the people. And I'm not saying that would be, the deciding factor, but it does play a role when a country is armed.
yeah, no, it definitely does. When
And
you know that there's going to be resistance,
Yeah,
definitely.
big time. So I don't see the racism. I know that there's racism in there with some of those shots of people breaking into convenience stores and things like that. But again, doesn't matter. I don't look at what the perpetrator's color is. I just look at what is happening in front of me and saying that person needs to be stopped. I don't care what skin color you are.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's again, it goes back to the accountability. If you're doing something wrong, it doesn't
Period.
matter who you are, you should be
That's
held
right.
accountable
You should
for
held
it.
held accountable.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Brendan, for joining me again today. Thank you for watching Front Row Chaos. You have a blessed and great day, and please put in the comments, if you would, what you like or didn't like or what you'd like to see, and we'll see you again right here on the next episode of Front Row Chaos. You have a blessed and great day.